Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be doing some direct challenges with another content creator, JafferMTG, for the Explorer format, and we're going to be playing best of three. So I'm going to be playing my Abzan Humans list against a couple of his decks. We'll try it out to see before the new format comes live. For those of you who are new to Explorer, it's basically Pioneer with all the cards that are currently on Arena for Pioneer Legal, so some deviations. And we're playing an Abzan Humans list. It's basically mono white humans, splashing, Graveyard Trespasser, Kudro in the main. We got a couple copies of Dire Tactics, and the green is for Collected Company. And then in the sideboard, we have like Thoughtseize for Control, Containment Priest versus Winota, Kambal versus Control decks, another Dire Tactics, some Planeswalkers for the grindier matchups, and Sorin and Kaya, as well as Knight of Autumn. Kaya is also more graveyard hate. So let me poke Jaffer. Sorry, because there's no queue up right now, it takes a little bit of coordination. So we have to kind of get a little creative. So we'll play this deck. I already did Winota yesterday against another of my community members. So that video is up on YouTube. We're going to be doing Teferi next, blue-white control deck after this. Let's go Coco Humans, play best of three. Let's go. So JafferMTG's got a YouTube channel. He posts some stuff too, but he's on Twitch multiple days a week. Check him out, especially if you like stompy things, mono green, and kind of creature combat decks. We're skilled magicians. This hand is not... maybe. Nah, we'll try it. I'm going to lead on this. You make human creatures. I'm keeping this because Ajanjo is basically a creature, or like a removal spell in this matchup. Probably Gruul. Mono red. Let's see what he's playing. This will force a removal spell either on Thalia's Lieutenant. Fable, Glorybringer. Well, I don't like Glorybringer, so that can go away. Because the thing is, they have to attack and exert. So I'm actually going to do this. There's a chance he lets the damage go through. And then we go post-combat Adeline. Because the thing is, if I play Adeline pre-combat, then he just stomps me. The one thing this lets him, if he draws a land... Actually, he can't Glorybringer 7. Ajanjo will get the discount as well. So we can eat this, we can eat the Stormbringer, or Stormseeker. We've really only drawn 2 spells this whole game. We might be able to get him on like a double block here. The bigger we make Adeline, the better. So Glorybringer's coming down next turn. They can start copying creatures, which makes it a bit annoying. Let's do this. 7. So like this, they have to trade with their board. Otherwise, it would have been 6, so they would have been fine. They need 8 mana to copy Glorybringer, get the value that way. So it's probably going to be a matchup where we're going to want to bring in the dire tactics. I don't have much removal. We've also drawn like an obscene amount of lands. Cool. Turn 3 Adeline cruises in. So the Thalias aren't that good. Knight of Autumn could be interesting. So we definitely want dire tactics. Might just want Sorens, to be honest. It gives me some card advantage. Kaya doesn't really do much. Knight of Autumn can get rid of Kiki, but that's it. Containment Priest doesn't really do much. If creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. So it kind of goes against my Coco, so I'd rather not. Hopeful Initiate. Could be a Thoughtseize matchup, actually. Actually, Thoughtseize is probably on the play. Let's do it like that. Because Glorybringer is the card that I'm like most afraid of. Looking at the sideboard, I probably want more removal. Only having 7 pieces. Probably want either like some Fatal Push or Blood Chief's Thirst. Because we have Coco, I'll keep this hand. Probably gonna shock in here because I'm gonna want that on white probably. So I can do that if they stomp. So just exile there. No blocks. Chariot's gross. Glorybringer's gross. They're kind of missing lands, so they're a couple turns off from this Glorybringer. I could get them off the stomp, which kind of screws up their plan. I think we just do this. It's more the immediate, and like they can Bone Crusher for the turn, or they can level up, or they just draw Stormseeker. I'll trade there. Stormseeker is their only card on night, so I don't care as much on that. I think we're doing this. And we're probably just going to take the Glory Bringer at this point. Like, they have Stomp available, but it looks like he wants to play Chariot. I think we block here. So a Kudro, I can sacrifice 2 humans. And then I can blow up this Chariot if I want. I think we're just going to do this. Get the Stomp out of his hand. Just tax everything at this point. And then I have a Janjo up for the Chariot. And then we got 2 card draw here. It's doing pretty well. The one of Kudro coming in handy. Coco lets us play a higher, like all the really good humans in this format are at 3 mana. We don't have Esper Sentinel like we do in Historic. So you want to have a higher density of 3s, and then that allows you to play Collected Company. So like they can activate Chariot and make a copy. So I think I'm fine with this trade. Actually, let's do that. We get blown out this way by a Braid. But it's unlikely he has Cleave in this version. That's fine. Let me see what we draw before I make up my mind. It's actually not bad for after. So they can play out the Bone Crusher. So this is pretty free. The math didn't really change with me doing this pre or post combat, but it gives them less information for the blocks. Alrighty. I actually think I just want to make the quick change to the sideboard. I think we have too many anti-control cards and not enough. Let's go down Akaya. Sorry, like again, we're just doing a little bit of coordination. It's a little tricky. Discord comes in handy. Let's accept Coco Humans. 8 removal spells is good there. Like, the problem is post-combat, like post-board, they'll bring in more removal, so it makes our humans, what's his name? The werewolf dude that exiles Brutal Cathar a little worse because we give back their stuff. And like in his deck, you don't want to give back Glorybringers. All right. Skilled Magician. I think we're going to mulligan this hand. Okay, this hand's better. I think we'll put back the Godless Shrine. So this hand's actually pretty decent because we have a curve of 1, turn 2. If we don't draw anything, do the clue. Ooh, some Abosh Red maybe. Or you just get really good at Magic. Typically you see Abosh in Modern. 2/2 Epiture here. So I'm actually going to shock here because then it less likely telegraphs the next turn. I probably want to get this above maybe. Actually, doing this, because they're going to have 2/2s, so they probably are playing Bone Crusher Giant, so then I don't get like hit by that. Gruulabosh. Big Boy Spellbreaker, 5/5. Okay, so we're definitely getting rid of Spellbreaker first. Get a whole bunch of value there. Trade with their board. Not bad. I have this to take away stuff from their hand. So even with a big Spellbreaker there. This deck's actually felt like really, really reasonable. You love to see defensive Bone Crusher Giant. So what I could do is attack, and then in the attack also hit them. Okay, so we just want dire tactics in this matchup. And I might actually want the knights here. I'm actually going to cut No, we're cutting Thalia's. Thalia actually might not be too bad. So because I have enough enchantments with Kumana and that, I think we do that, especially with the burn. Knight's pretty flexible in that regard, also could gain us some life. Gotta troll him. Let's try out some other brews. Let's try out like a mono blue artifacts deck with automaton, Sai to make tokens. Again, we're lacking a couple like reasonable. Basically, every deck I'm trying to build right now just really wants Esper Sentinel. And it's like the card that's just pulling the room together. Like this deck, I couldn't really find another 1-drop that was worth playing. So we're playing like Hopeful Initiate. Alright, how good are Thraben Inspectors? Let's find out. Well, it's going to block for days. We are going to be scared with like turn 2 Spellbreaker starting to go. Okay. We have Thrabentron achieved. Technically I could attack there. So I can't really do much next turn other than draw a card. Hoping for a 3-drop. Like Brutal Cathar would be decent probably. Dire Tactics. So they make it a 4/4. This Ronus can attack. They opt not to. We might have to get like defensive with this. I don't know if they're on Embercleave or not. Actually, Embercleave's 8 mana, so they can't play it with the Bosch. Tamiyo's safekeeping. Oh. That works. Probably a loose block, but Bosch to hand. They do have a pump available for 2+ extra damage, so just to keep in mind. So I could put 2 counters on that and bring it up to 4. 2 and then the 4, so it doesn't do enough. It's going to be 3 power, so I could still trade. No, I'll probably just put in counters. Spike field. Jeez, all the removal. Wasn't much I could do because they have the lands, so they can just upkeep. So these knights are actually a lot worse. Campbell's not bad. They also brought in, so let's go graveyard. Let's go Campbell. Let's go up one more Thalia. Just tax their removal more. Because if they have like 1 and 2 mana spells, like we can kind of throw them off curve there with Thalia. And that way with the ward, it makes it harder. They can't necessarily trade in combat. This matchup's probably very play draw dependent. Yeah, like this curve looks good. Probably still doing this. Like, they're gonna target Thalia's lieutenant. If not, I can get Trespasser going. I can also get Kudro going. Okay, that's a good start. Also takes them off red. And now I have counters as well, so I could remove counters if I want. Okay, so he has a burn spell. I think we're main phasing this because then this will make Thalia's lieutenant bigger. Like, they can take my Lord out of the way, but they're taking 11. And now they can't even use their burn spell either. This isn't really the matchup for Trespasser to shine. Like, these lieutenants are doing work. Maybe we want more initiates. Alt WinCon. Sweet. GG's, GG's. So we'll wrap it up with this one. Abzan Humans, let me know what you think, and stay tuned. We'll have a new Explore video pretty much every day up until the launch, and then we'll play some Standard when new competitive comes out. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.